President Trump will take the podium on the floor of the House of Representatives tonight at 8 o'clock.
For more local reaction to his first State of the Union address, we talked earlier today with UW-Madison political science professor Barry Burden.
So what are you going to be looking for tonight during the President's State of the Union?
Well, I expect that President Trump will do two things tonight. One is take credit for his accomplishments over the last year, in particular the tax bill that was passed by Congress and he signed into law, and some success with the economy. And then the second thing would be looking forward to his promises for this year, things that he hopes will be enacted before the 2018 elections arrive in November.
What about the tone of the address? Do you expect it to be similar to his inaugural speech, or do you think he'll take a different tone?
Well, that's a good question. We've seen a variety of tones from Donald Trump over the last year or so, and in fact, during his presidential campaign. The inaugural speech, you'll remember, referred to carnage and all the things that were going wrong and how he would repair them. But last year's address to Congress, which was sort of like a dry run for this year's State of the Union, was much more conciliatory, presidential. It was him reading from a teleprompter, and I think he was looking for some common ground on issues like transportation funding. He's likely to do that again tonight.
Is it possible to find common ground in this divided Washington we have right now?
It's difficult to find common ground. Things that look like opportunities for the parties to work together often dissolve when the conversations get serious. That was the case with the tax bill, where I think initially there were a number of Democrats who were interested in working with the White House. That fell apart pretty quickly. Right now, it still looks like transportation and infrastructure could be a bipartisan deal. But again, as we get into the details, Democrats are likely to be leery of some of the things the administration would promise. And it's likely that the parties will retreat into their own camps.
Well, and speaking of that, not everyone in Congress will be there listening to the speech tonight. I think it's up to 10 Democrats now who are boycotting the State of the Union address. Is that unprecedented, and do you think it's counterproductive?
It is a little unprecedented. It's still a small number of members, but they're making news with their actions. There are some other members who will be there, but who are bringing some provocative guests along with them. You'll remember it was just a few years ago that there was sort of a date night set up where members of opposite parties would sit next to one another in the chamber and listen to the State of the Union address. Those days seem to be long gone.
Do you think both parties are retreating, as you say, waiting for the midterms?
Yeah, the pattern in the past has been that Congress simply gets less done in election years. Most of the serious legislating happens in the odd-numbered years. When we turn to an election year, there's a focus on that. Members are making decisions about their careers, whether they want to run for re-election or seek another office or leave Washington altogether. They will go on recess starting this summer so that they can campaign back in their states and districts. So there's a really short window here between now and probably early summer where some things need to be done, some of which can't be avoided. The budget needs to be dealt with. We have another government shutdown on the horizon. There's some other issues, the debt ceiling, for example, related to that. But also some things that the president would like to move on, particularly immigration and transportation.
And we'll hear the specifics tonight during the State of the Union address. Barry, thanks for being with us today.
Great to see you, Barry. Thanks so much.
Glad to be with you.
This speech starts at 8 o'clock. You can see it right here on Channel 3. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.